Nigerian Senate sits down with top managers of Nigeria's economy to talk about Naira for crude. House of Representatives Sports Committee queries the prolonged tenure of the NFF Secretary. And also on the program today, we'll get a reaction to the proposed tax reform bills from the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility. This is the Hallowed Chambers on TVC News. I am Tijesu Adewi. The Coordinating Minister of Finance and the Economy admitted that Nigerians have shown a great sense of resilience and endurance despite the inconvenience caused by the federal government's necessary economic reforms. He said this when he faced the Senate Committee on Finance alongside the CEO of NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari. They explained the possible outcomes of the Naira for crude policy introduced by President Bola Tinubu's administration. They also defended the ongoing economic reforms, emphasizing that they are beginning to yield results.
This meeting underscores our commitment to transparency, accountability, and the responsible management of our national resources.
These two pillars of the economic reform, once in place, portend additional revenue for government, recovery of the finances of NNPC, and a basis for growing the economy, a basis for attracting investment, increasing productivity, encouraging creation of jobs.
And in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, the House of Representatives Committee on Sports is seeking explanations about the prolonged stay in office of the Secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation. The lawmakers invited the President of the Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusso, to talk about the 9-year-long stay in office of the Secretary. But the NFF President says this is not abnormal, but in compliance with the status approved by the Federation of International Football Association, FIFA.
We are approaching AFCON 2025, and also World Cup qualifier, I think 2026, if I'm right. What will you tell Nigerians, your preparations, readiness, and how sure are we that we are going to perform in this two coming competition? And finally, what do we expect from the committee?
That draft was sent to him through his own lawyer. Then they come back to us to say that, if he's collecting this money, the government of Germany will tax him about 40-something%. So therefore, unless we agree that we are going to take charge of that tax that we charge them against the German authority, which it took us about 24 hours going back and forth, which I said is practically impossible. I don't know how I'm going to face Nigerians to tell them that you come and work in Nigeria and I will pay tax, German tax for you. So he sit down and said, I said, if that should be the case, then please, we should call it off.
The House of Representatives Committee on Finance says it is pleased with the progress of construction work at the permanent site of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The committee went for an on-the-spot assessment of the project as part of its oversight functions. They also acknowledged the pragmatic leadership and performance spearheaded by Zach Adedeji, chairman of the FIRS.
We've seen the progress so far. Like the architect said, they've gone from the building was started in 2011, and to God be the glory, to be completed next year. And we expect that when that is done, and the tax law, which is the Nigerian Revenue Service, is passed, it will be launched in this building, and we expect more revenue to come to Nigeria.
We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk about the fate of the proposed tax reform bills that will be decided when the National Assembly resumes plenary. Thank you for joining us on the Hallowed Chambers, and joining me in the studio today is an honorable member of the House of Representatives from Ogun State, and he is Honorable Afolabi Afuakwe. It's good to have you on the Hello Chambers.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
and he's also the Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on Social Responsibility. Now let's start with the recent tax reform bills, which has stirred a lot of controversy because of some issues that were raised. Talk to us, on what side do you stand? Are you for the merits of the bill, or do you see something wrong with the bill that has stirred so much controversy?
Well, let me thank you. If for the good of our country, the bill is not a bad bill. The bill is looking at us harmonizing the collection of those bills. Unfortunately, I'm a member of Finance Committee, and the FRS chairman came to educate us on that bill. I don't want the Nigerians to preempt that bill. We are going to full debate on that bill. We are going to have public hearing on that bill. But look at, the man mentioned some things that to me is very, very germane. So we are talking of collection. Most of these tax that has been collected are from different agencies. And if I talk of federal agency, we are not thinking, how do we harmonize this? Let this be responsibility of federal. We call it federal, for now we call it federal revenue. We are saying, if I say something is federal, yeah, we are saying the tendency for people to look at it as if that bill, that agency is for federal government alone. But the money being collected is being shared by the federation. Why can't you change the name to Nigeria Revenue? That's why we want to change the name. Beyond the name, we are looking at opportunity that, yes, some people, a lot of people are saying different things. But to me, I look at the bill. I've gone through some part of it, not the entire bill. But when the man came to actually educate us on the merit of this bill, I discovered that the merit far outweigh the demerit of those bills. But I'm not here to take a position. But I believe that by the time we start discussion on this bill, Nigeria will be able to see the importance. It's not about increasing or charging people more. No. Though it will also block some loopholes in the present tax system that make us to have more money. But that not mean Nigerians are going to pay more of that.
Well,
bill.
a lot of time this bill has, been explained, and Nigerians seem to, seem to have an idea of what it stands for. But somehow, some Nigerians still have their doubts. Why do you think that a lot of Nigerians, or some Nigerians, let me put it this way, seem not to trust, the intent of this bill?
Well, because I don't, because of people. Nigerians have lost confidence in government, sincerely speaking. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. Because most times, when there is a policy, and Nigeria policy is not about policy, about implementation. Most times, when people see things as a very good thing, it ended up to be another thing. So that has made Nigeria to believe that whatever you are telling them, until the things start to manifest, until they start to actually enjoy the benefits. For instance, you cannot blame Nigerians. Even when, like I told people, all Nigerians, before I have an admission, believe that subsidy must go. All Nigerians. And the president took the bull by the horn by removing subsidy. But what are we still experiencing? Nigeria has not been benefiting or be able to see the impact of this fuel subsidy removal. That's part of the issue. But nevertheless, there is no way you will get. There are always will come some things in economics lag. When you plan something now, you don't expect the result immediately. Sincerely speaking, government support or subsidy, it will take some time before the effect can be felt. Now Dangote Refinery I started producing. I say, after all, we started producing locally. It ought to have changed. It cannot change overnight. It will take some time. But there is no way there won't be lag. There will be difference between when you plan the policy and when people will start to feel the effect. That is economic term. There must be a lag. So people don't have a whole lot of policy came from government that ended up not actually achieving the desired result. And that's why people are not too keen. When you are telling them something they believe, to them, they have already a set mind that this will not come out well. But I want Nigeria to give our president a benefit of doubt. We want Nigerians to be better. We want our people to be comfortable. And I want to appeal to Nigerians. It is not easy, but let's have confidence in this government. And I think there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, everybody seems to agree that these economic reforms are necessary, but where it comes to play is in the case of implementation. Do you think that it is a case where the government does not really map out its plan of implementation rightly to, ensure that this hardship is not really felt so much by the citizens?
Well, I will agree partly, because even if the president not pronounced the removal of subsidy, in last year budget, all subsidy was actually provided for till May last year. So whether you make the pronouncement or not, last government has statically removed subsidy. So you may not have enough time. If it has been designed by the administration, probably we could have done it better. But whether the president will pronounce it or not, there's no provision for subsidy beyond May last year. And as such, you have to live by what you have. To me, I quite understand some things, but when you are looking at the visionary trend in the country, you also be afraid that how are people surviving with their income and everything has actually gone up. Very, very difficult time for all of us. Everybody is actually, Mr. President is also going to the same market with us. Yeah, all of us are into this together. But it is a necessary thing. I will only appeal to the government. The government has put in a lot of palliative. But palliative are just stopgap measures. Palliative will not solve the problem. We need long-term measures to solve this problem. And those long-term measures you can't see it within 1 year. You cannot see it because government is believing we have to produce our food locally. Rice production is increasing in the country, but a lot of people still don't believe in what we are producing here, and we need it. And when you face the problem of security, you are facing the problem of electricity. Those two things are key for production. Nigeria cannot continue to be a consuming nation. We must change from being a consuming nation to a producing nation. And how do we do this? We have to encourage a whole lot of things. I was looking yesterday when I was talking of our national grid collapsing every now and then. There must be a deliberate plan to change this. If you look at that national grid, it has been there for how many years? For so long. And as such, it is a mechanism. It's expected that it can pack up. And it's already showing us signal. That means the present government must be preparing to get out of this, because we cannot continue without electricity, without security. We may not achieve anything.
A lot has been said, and what Nigerians keep hearing is it will take time, it will take time. One big elephant in the room is the capacity, that earning capacity. It doesn't seem to increase with the level. The standard of living now is unmatched. So how do you expect Nigerians to overlook this, even with little or nothing to take home with?
Nobody is saying Nigeria should overlook. Sincerely speaking, it's not affecting. I'm also a Nigerian. It's affecting all of us, because people are not earning enough. We are in this part of the world, we depend on ourselves. That means people that are not depend on us, those that counted as those the haves not depend mostly on most of us for survival, and it's also telling on us. The issue is this: like I used to tell people, I'm not advocate of salary increment every now and then. I'm not. I believe we can do things in a better way. It's not about how much you earn. It's about purchasing power of the money that you do earn. I've told labor people, I've engaged them before. Instead of you asking for salary increment every now and then, why don't you ask for some other things? For instance, if you have housing scheme, and as a graduate you can have a house to yourself, whereby you will be paying it as a mortgage instrumentally, the tendency of you to be looking for money to start building your own house will not be there. If you can transport yourself from your office to your place, you can have credit facility like what the president actually introducing. We need to look at all this area, because too much money in the economy will bring about inflation. There's no doubt about it. I'm an economist.
All right, we'll still have more to discuss, but we'll take this quick break now. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Just joining us, we have been speaking with Honorable Afolabi Afuakwe, and he is from Ogun State. He's the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility. Now, you're one of the people who believe in the local refining of petrol. Do you think this is actually the answer to Nigeria's petroleum needs? And why do you think that all efforts to, salvage this sector seems to have defied all odds?
Thank you. I believe in us to refine locally, but I don't believe government has business in business. We need to encourage private sector. There's no way we will be asking government to refine our product and we get results. We need, the government doesn't have, because everybody believes is government money, is government fund. And I still want us to look at something. When people have illegal refinery that's not legally recognized, and they do refine products, to me, why can't you bring these people together? What are they doing? What technology are they using in refining these products? Let's learn from it. Let's see what if you just small place like this, somebody can refine little capacity. Allow the person to refine. Let license people to. You don't need the whole money to go and build a refinery. Some people that refine illegally, they are using some. They do use some. They have a machinery that they do use. How do they come about it? What are they doing? Are the products being produced there good enough? They are not. All the refinery. If they are not good enough, how can we improve on it? Let's go to public. Sincerely speaking, if you give this, private rather, if you give this to private sector to do, we will get result one day. Look at before the advent of our GSM. You go to Nitel, you cannot call, and when the things came on board, I bought my SIM. How many thousands of naira? Today SIM is free. I can now sit down here, call America, connect myself to the entire world. For how much? But at initial stage, you are paying through our nose. Even when you spend 1 second, they charge you per minute. That is competition for you.
Talk to us about your bill on establishment of a national farm settlement agency. How do you think this will improve the agricultural value chain of the country and also significantly contribute to Nigeria's GDP?
Thanks so much. I mentioned it here. The nation that cannot feed itself is not a nation. And we are blessed in this country. We have arable land. We have everything that's needed to change the narrative of this country. Before the advent of oil, we were fully into agri. And look at Southwest. Southwest was developed via agriculture. And what the government of those days, what do they do? Farm settlement. The farm settlement bill is to encourage production of agricultural produce. And how do you encourage production? If you are somewhere and government gives you infrastructure to develop that place, and that is not just about farm settlement, and it will be agro-processing industry. That's what the bill is all about. You have a farm settlement, and government will also give you agro-processing. They also set up agro-processing industry for you. So whenever you produce, you don't just sell your things like that. Process it, reform it, so that it will add value for you. And all this will also discourage rural-urban immigration. People kept on coming to the urban area to find virtually nothing to do. Let's encourage our youth. If you give me good life in the rural area, I have electricity, I have Wi-Fi, I have everything that makes me comfortable. I prefer to stay there, and there will be value chain. If I produce, if it's what I'm producing, I can network. There will be what you call economy of scale. If 4 or 5 of us come together to have fish pond, for instance, we still save some money rather than the only individual to be struggling for it. And if you encourage this everywhere, before you know it, we have enough food to eat in the country. When you have enough food to eat in the country, you also not only have enough food to eat, you also have enough to export. And that means with this bill on farm settlement, it will increase our food production. It will give us that needed security, food security. If there is food security, the insecurity situation in the country will also come drastically low.
One more thing before I let you go. As the Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility, and what is the mandate of your committee and how have you been engaging in your oversight functions?
Thank you so much. It is expected that all corporate organizations should play a complementary role to complement the efforts of the government. Government cannot produce all amenities all alone. And if you are producing somewhere, you are making money somewhere, you need to give back to the society. That's the essence of corporate social responsibility. But unfortunately, we don't have that corporate responsibility bill or a law that makes it compelling. What we are doing just persuasive because we do it, we are just doing it for doing it, and we can use it to claims of tax exception. But that's why we've just laid before the House the bill on corporate social responsibility. What the thing is telling us is that you cannot be making money somewhere and you're not giving back to the society. And I think we have been able to go to 2-3 places to see what they do, as well as the oil sector. You know, we also have a way of affecting their land in terms of farming, in terms of their health. And if that is if you are affecting them negatively in some ways, and you are making money from that area, then you must be socially responsible to them. We went to Sahara Energy, we want to, and sincerely, most of them are trying. They are trying vis-a-vis the fact that there is no law that do persuasive things, and they are still doing it. But to me, we have a lot of things we can achieve this corporate social responsibility. If you are giving back to society, insurgents, bad behavior, because you can engage people there, you can give them job. If we are working if you are produced somewhere, I want to ask you, how many of they are indigenous have you been able to engage? You want to bring people out of the streets, engage them, let them get something doing, let them be earning a living. When they earn a living, they also protect your company, because you are the one putting food on their table. They will protect you. But if you are not giving back to them, there is every tendency that they can revolt against you, and if that happens, you also lose in many ways. So we are encouraging. That is why, in the wisdom of the 10 leadership, the 10 assembly leadership, being led by our Right Honorable Naira-Based, he set up this corporate social responsibility as a committee that can stand alone for be able to look at what they do, because we are still having that sitting problem of bill and things like that. We've not been able to achieve much, but I know the next few years that committee is committee to reckon with, committee to work, is committee that can add value to government. Government cannot provide. I went the last one we went. I know they provide electricity for that place. The only thing I mentioned that they should improve on was the fact that I led I led delegation there. But the fact that you call somebody somewhere hospital, but nurses are not there. Drugs. So how will we administer those things? I will change those narrative. I think the thing has improved. We've told them. You also need to engage people and be paying them for the purpose of making this thing to be functional. If you have a place, you have drugs, you have everything, but there is no nurse, no doctor. That means to me it's an ordinary building, and we've changed those narrative. And I know that we will not relent until we're able to achieve it.
That is our program for today, but that is not all from TVC News. We are always here to give you breaking news and information you should know. Follow us on all our social media platforms to keep up with our news, programs, and current affairs. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adeoye. See you next time.